anything else and share our insights. If you're wondering what trades I'm in, if you're wondering what trades I'm taking, and you'd like to see exactly how I'm trading everything, you can actually follow my trading signals. If that sounds like something you're interested in, we'll share a link in the chat. You can sign up. You can sign up directly with the link or speak to a support rep if you have any questions. If you're asking, what do I trade? Pretty much everything. Indexes, ETFs, stocks, options, futures, Forex, and crypto. Thoughtful analysis, active trading. Check it out. And now, back to the show. What's happening, everybody? Happy Friday. Just getting a couple trades posted here for Pulver alerts. Sold some premium this morning. Just give me a moment here. Let's get this going. Okay, I'm just going to get this posted in Pulver alerts. Sold some premium this morning. IV ranks are as high as I've seen it since COVID. That's not nothing. So I'm taking advantage of that by selling some puts and SPY, puts and Qs. Yesterday I sold puts in SPY and DIA, but I was able to go lower and out less time and make more credit just because we had a huge jump in volatility. So, take it at your risk. I'm willing to own some of the underlying shares. If you're not, then probably not take these trades, but I think I'm getting a pretty decent deal and pretty decent discount. So that is the plan. So that trade just got posted. So basically, I'm going out about 46 days for about $825 of income if the market's going to drop peak to trough 30%. Not saying that we can't, but unlikely. So right now, I have this trade. This trade is profitable. Close it out for a winner this morning. This trade is a second one that's in for the SPX for the day. And I also have a broke wing butterfly at 5,400. So if we just have like another kind of floating move on the day and price just kind of hangs out, chops around, so be it. I see a big level of support around 5,100 today if the market's going to continue to drift lower. Yesterday I had an interesting trade. It was a butterfly spread at the end of the day. I got in for about 65 cents here and pinned it at 5,400. A 65-cent debit ended up paying $5.80 at close. That was a pretty wild kind of, perfect trade, which obviously I'm not upset with. So here's some levels that I'm watching. Here's SPX real time 5,100, pretty massive level. That's if it gets there for the day. Obviously the market is down. We've had nasty plunges. I closed out for around 12K in profit. Not that helps. I'm still down for the year. I officially turned red for this last little bit. Yesterday I was down about 20, or I was up still about 25, 30 grand in my account. And now the whole portfolio has turned red. So I'm down about 2.7% year to date, which is manageable considering where the markets are at. It still sucks. And all I can do is kind of grind through it. So anywho, selling some premium. Prices are ridiculous. I mean, IV rank is as high as I've ever seen it. SPY, 102 on the SPY. That's insane. QQQ, 88. The DIA, 116. Like these are some of the highest I've ever seen. 108 on Russell. I'm glad I didn't call that bottom yesterday on the IWM. So possibly a drift into 5,100 today. If we're going to go directional, that's where I'd be looking to go, is just trading it down towards that 5,100 handle. Pretty simple stuff. If you put in a bear call spread, this is intraday stuff for 0DTE. If price is going to find that level, a bear call spread that you could maybe pull 30, 40, 50 cents out of, maybe $1, depends on how close you are to the money, you could quickly see that go in your favor. So if I pulled in a trade for $1 and price goes lower, I could see that dollar turn into 80 cents, 75 cents, 70 cents pretty quickly. I took a trade this morning, 235. I closed it out for $1.95 within about 30 minutes. So not too bad. If we see some, gapping and chopping, that wouldn't be a terrible surprise for a Friday. We do have a Powell that's on the calendar for today around 11 a.m. He's supposed to peak at 11:25. I mean, is this the Fed put? Probably not. What I did notice in the Fed watch tool is that now we're looking at about 5 cuts for the year. So pause, still potentially a pause in May. And then cut for June expected, cut for July, cut for September, cut for October, cut for December. That's where things stand right now. Now the market has priced in. Look at the how low the probabilities are. Like once they start the cutting process, probabilities are extremely low that we pause. So I think what the market is potentially after is, do they cut more than 25 basis points? And I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. Clearly, cutting 50 basis points last September ignited a complete opposite move in the yields. But one really solid trade right now is TLT. US 10-year is going down. This is actually a very helpful thing for the market. Not the market, but this helps interest rates, where if you're looking to buy a car, it's getting cheaper. You're looking to buy a home, it's getting cheaper, interest rate wise. Doesn't mean that the prices are changing. I mean, I read yesterday that Ford is unveiling employee pricing for everyone right now, probably a limited window. But if interest rates go down with it, that's pretty encouraging. If right now you feel like you need to go buy a car, I was joking yesterday that I thought, when people are panicking, they're buying water and toilet paper, but instead they run to the car dealership and they want to buy a car, thinking that the price is going to go up. I guess if you need a vehicle, that's one thing, but I would not be in a hurry to be buying a big product like that. What else? TLT. I did a roll on this yesterday, and I'm thankful that I did. Now I've rolled my TLT up to $96. So I plotted symmetry here. I now have part of my diagonal spread is a 65 by 96, and my debit's around 20 bucks. So 65 plus 20. Oops. Yeah, I guess 65 plus 20 is my break even now, and it gets called away at 96. I make around $11. I want to say 3,000. Yeah, so my TLT trade could be worth about 33 grand if we get above 96. I'm pretty bullish on TLT all the way up to these highs in the hundreds. So I may look at one more roll if this just continues to run pretty hot. I think TLT is a pretty darn good looking trade. We're at 93.84 right now. In fact, I wouldn't mind taking some shares here. So this is a cash account. And let me go to TLT. Let's have a look. So TLT, it's a cash account, so I got to be careful on what I allocate. I don't really want to buy 100 shares, but I think I could buy at least 50. It doesn't go up a ton though. I mean, buy 50 shares and it goes up 93.88 to 100. I mean, I don't make a lot of money on that trade. So $6.15 times 50. Yippee skippy, I make 300 bucks. God, I wish I could just trade freaking options on this cash account. Kind of sucks. It's like being handcuffed the way that I like to trade. But it is what it is. So let's see. It's fine. If I bought 50 shares, it'd still tie up about 4 grand. I'm going to take a stab at it. So let's go, not SPX, let's go TLT. Long, go. If I buy 50 shares of this allocation, I'm just mindful. I mean, I've got $47,000 in buying power, so I don't want to tie up, 10% of that with a purchase. However, actually what might be worth it would be if I go to positions here, dump my BIL. I'm down 60 bucks in BIL. Take that buying power back. Let me close this down. So I'm going to close this here at 91.47. Okay, now I just got some more buying power back. We're at 68K. Now I'll buy a tranche. So I'll go 100 shares. All right, I'm going to go 100 shares TLT. Long TLT. There we go. So 93.80. Let's go after it. So I'm going to go 100 shares. 93.80. Looks like 85, maybe 86. All right. So bought some shares at 93.87. Buy. So that trade is in, and I'm going to put in a closing order at 100 bucks. Get that buying power back. Okay. So 100 is up here. We've had previous highs at 100 plus. I mean, I could try to get greedy on that little drift, but 100 is a nice round number. See if we get there. Russell 1.5% away from market halt. Wow. Yeah, I mean, we're down, right? S&P down 4%, Q's down 4%, Russell down 5+%, Dow down 3%. Day two of the chaos, VIX still up here. We're talking VIX levels like we've got to. I mean, historically, we're seeing some straight up like crisis prices, right? VIX up here towards 45. That's higher than everything in 2022. That is matching one of the single day spikes we saw since August 5th. And then you're talking COVID, and then you're talking Volmageddon in 2018, your sell off in 2015, and before that, sovereign debt crisis in 2011, and great financial crisis. So you will remember Liberation Day and what it caused for the first 4 months of trading, 3+ months of trading, I guess, in 2025. Now I'm always wondering like when that reversion is going to take place. This also makes me want to. I don't think that the bottom is necessarily in, but I'm curious if I took a stab at some SVXY here. We are down to some fresh lows. I don't know how much lower this gets. I don't know. I don't know why I'm so reluctant. Like this thing doesn't really move that much. If I bought 100 shares and it goes, a few dollars against me, it's not the end of the world. Um, but I like maybe we're not done. Maybe this whole VIX idea is not done. Here's the dollar, by the way, finding some balance, right? Dollar had a ridiculous gap and crash yesterday, and now it's fighting back. You possibly are seeing some safe haven flows into the dollar. Here's currency strength. Good Lord. So Swiss on top and JPY and dollar. So risk off flows are pretty obvious. Massive volatility on the New Zealand and the Aussie. Ooh, baby. Let's take a look. Gold, oil, silver, oil. Oh, baby. There's the floor breaking. Okay. We have some wild stuff going on. I also saw that copper is crashing in a pretty big way as well. So oil, floor is broken. I don't know where this is going to stop. Maybe there's a round number support at 60. I've been looking for this potential breakout swing. That's what this yellow box is symmetry down to about $35. It may not happen in a straight line, but it also might. Who the hell knows? But this is now officially, if it stays there, then we have a floor right around 65 that is broken. So if there's any traders out there, a break, retest, and go. If you want to get short oil, structurally it looks pretty good. Unless this is going to be a bear trap, then the only way that's going to happen is if this thing just snaps back up aggressively. Then maybe there's a bottom getting put in. But I say based on the judgment of our prices of the indexes and everything is risk off right now, oil is probably risk off as well. So that's that. UNG still showing resiliency, which is kind of encouraging. Gold at 30.43. There's your pivot on the dollar, and there's your pivot in gold. It's what I talked about. Just said, be aware that this is likely going to have a correction. What's the factor? Could be timing with the Q2 starting. Could be pivot on the dollar. Looks like that crash yesterday kind of pivoted the dollar, and now gold is selling off. I don't think this is a bad thing, right? I mean, this technically has been long overdue. So I'm kind of happy to see it. You just don't know how nasty this is going to get, right? So I mean, levels to watch on gold would be in the near term, previous levels here, previous levels here. I, for one, am more excited about like the 144 to 200 pullback zone. I like to see gold at least try to get to there. Try to get to there. So not a bad play. Do I want to short gold? Probably not. I think I'm trying to keep positions pretty close to the vest right now. Don't need to do anything stupid. I had some profits running all year through all this chaos, and officially turned red today. So it's now protection. I've got a lot of hedges. I closed off some profits today on a synthetic short, and that's fine. I've got some hedges running in futures, which offer massive reward to risk. So right now, my futures trade, I've got a position for futures running for about 30K right now. So that's good. I've got another one for 10K. That's good. So I've got about $40,000 in hedges, which is fine, but that's not enough to offset, what I'm currently dealing with, right? So I can take the profit. It still doesn't mean there's not more pain ahead. The nice thing is with these trades, these are kind of the just in case black swan. If we're going to, 5,000 on the SPX, if we're going to 4,900, 4,800, those are probably the technical levels that I'd say, yeah, I'm gonna start looking to lock in some profits there. So if I go SPX for a moment, we're trading at 51.71, right? We have August lows back here on 51.25. I mean, this is insane. This really is. But I've got to say, this is why I talked about the floor at 5,500 being so important. If we don't hold this floor, there's nothing stopping this market, right? There is no support here until this low, and I don't think the market gives a crap about those lows because that previous high is way more important resistance. So to me, if you're lucky right now, the bulls would come back and just try to find a gap here before they sell off again. If you're lucky, otherwise this could be just, I mean, buckle the fudge up for Monday. I mean, think about the futures flows coming into Sunday night. If it's going to be like another monster gap lower, having 1, 2, 3 ridiculous days, it might be it might be literally one of the worst sell-offs this market has ever seen in a short amount of time like this. Maybe it could be the equivalent of like a 1987 type move. But if I look at where this is at, I mean, if we did crash down to like 5,000 or 4,900, I'm taking a stab at least at some type of retracement, and maybe this is where the Fed can step. I don't know. There could be all sorts of crap happening. Like the Fed could be ready to step in. I don't think Powell's going to say anything about it today. But if we dropped another, 300 points in a day, and we're talking some severe damage done in such a short amount of time, this is pretty wild. If the market's halted today, that's probably a problem because it's going to resume selling. So this is not done. This pain is not done. I'm just telling you, be careful. All right. So not trying to be a hero. These trades are working out fine as long as this level holds for the day or this level holds. I'll make some money. I've got a broken wing butterfly that'll make some money. Likely, I doubt we're coming back to the highs today. But gold is falling, which I said it's probably fine. Uh, I've been talking about a top in gold coming at any point, and now it looks like it's happening because the dollar's pivoting pretty hard. So dollar pivoting somewhat hard, gold pivoting. This will be an interesting spot to watch for the dollar. If we come back into this level here, is this enough of a support zone? We came right back into the breakout point on the dollar. I mean, I wonder if we could settle into these better lows around 101 to 100. We didn't. It turned pretty hard today. The one trade is also probably working out pretty well is FXY. We're way up here towards 63. I'm holding FXY shares until probably 65 or 66. I own this around $58. So I'm just going to keep holding this for another hedge. Let's go. One more look on gold. How many of you are excited to buy the dip on gold? Maybe some of you. How many of you are shorting gold right now? I mean, if I'm buying the dip on gold, it's down here. It's in this area. I want to see this bar count get hit. And it's, I mean, for gold to be like a safe haven bid, it's funny how now that's like everything's down, the market is down, but yet gold is it's selling off. It's like gold has been traded more like an asset as opposed to a safe haven. But I'm just curious where the next level is. I mean, to me, technically, this is where I'd be scooping up some more gold or at least playing some gold futures. Do I want to put in a short trade now? Not necessarily. I mean, this market is doing potentially very stupid things, like very stupid things. So if that is the case, like I don't need to be a hero. I don't need to call the top on gold. The amount of volatility the market is experiencing right now as well. We could have wild swings that are not even close to getting priced in yet. And considering today is a Friday, we go into next week. If the futures market just has an absolute dump coming into Sunday, Monday, granted it could put in a bottom, but it could also be 3 to 5% lower. And that amount of like pain is going to be felt across the board. And again, you're going to see recession talks. You're going to see global economy crashes. You're going to see all sorts of stuff. Major stuff happening right now. Okay. All right. Meanwhile, somehow somehow. This is probably like this is probably a huge, for now. For now, this is probably a good sign for Bitcoin to be hanging in there at 82.4. It's not doing anything, you know. I don't know if this chart's broken. Like, I'm gonna knock on my screen here. I mean, Bitcoin's not moving. It's probably not a bad thing. MicroStrategy, a little bit more volatile, but Bitcoin showing some resiliency, which is pretty impressive. Copper, holy crap. I mean, copper has dropped from the highs about 17%, and most of that coming in the last 2 days. I still have a trade on copper that I think should be fine. I'm still taking on a little bit of risk. It's risk. I'm risking like $1,000. Um, but we'll see if there is a bounce from here. Japanese yen. That's the trade that I wanted, dude. I mean, it's fine. I still made good profit on this one. I'm still long FXY. It's fine. But futures would just pay. You just have the extra leverage in futures. So FXY is up around 2 grand. Nope. Yeah, about 2 grand. Nikkei down hard. Japanese yen up. EWJ. Oh my god. So the Nikkei is trading pretty much like the U.S. stock market now. It's nuts. I think everything's down. Everything's got to be down. There's no way like DAX is going to be dumping here. Yep, DAX is down. Hey, there you go. Right? Everyone thought this is the big rotation out of the U.S. and Germany's going to do great and Euro stocks are doing great and FTSE's doing great and China's doing great. And what do we talk about? If the U.S. goes down, it's dragging everybody with it. Everybody. So now the question is, will this market settle in on a rebuild with better trading terms? I guess that's the point of this whole idea of a trade war. Or are we about to be on the brink of something worse? You know, I mean, I'm typically always trading as a glass half full guy, even though it doesn't seem easy in the face of this like nasty type of movement. But I told you, like, there's no way you're going to have the Euro stock doing well, or DAX doing well, or FTSE doing well, or China doing well, or anything doing well if the U.S. isn't showing resiliency, right? So, yep, Powell speech in the next like 30 minutes or so. We'll see, 30 to 40 minutes. FTSE, yikes. Argentina, yikes. China's still hanging in there, but you know, I rent China, not buy China. It's short term for me. I still have some plays. You know, Apple, Mag 7 way the heck down here. I do have a ratio spread. I think a 190. This one here. This one expires in 2 weeks. I might take some shares of Apple. I might also regret that. We'll see. It's down 26%. Mags also down to some fresh lows. And this is more than a rotation. Mags is down about 29%. Apple's down a bunch. Amazon down a bunch. I should probably check on some puts that I have running. Broadcom, buy. Google, back down to the lows from September of last year. Watching. Meta. So I said I don't want to buy at the 200 moving average. SLB, that's a steel maker. That's an energy play. Meta cancels content moderation. Okay, whatever. Anything here? No. Let me go SLB. That's Schaumburger. Yikes. Bye energy. So, well, if you wanted discounts, you're getting them. So the good thing is having some cash ready. I mean, I've still got $1.1 million to pick and choose what I want to get on sale. I just don't think picking bottoms right now is the play. I think there's still more to go. I mean, Meta, for example, where would I be interested? I would load this thing up around $400. I at least try to take some nibbles on it. I'm curious where I can sell a put for right now, honestly. Maybe a decent amount. Let me see. If I go Meta. Meta 114 Ivy rank. Holy shnikes. We've got earnings. May 23. How low can I go? I could go down to, I mean, a 5 delta. Would I own some shares of Meta at 350? Maybe. But I also don't forget that this is down 76% during 2022. So I don't forget that for a second. This is a great stock that's obviously made a ton of investors a ton of money, but still very volatile, you know? So could we have that's a 48% pullback right there, but who knows? Like I said, not trying to pick the bottoms. Microsoft down to 367. All right. This trade's out with a 370 assignment if I get it. I don't think I got to assign anything yet. Not yet. Microsoft is still running. Just some partial shares, 370. It's only out 13 days, but we'll see. Any sniff of recovery would be pretty cool right now. This expiration is out 2 more weeks. I think it's out 2 more weeks. April 17th. Nope. So it's out to, yeah, it's 2 more weeks, right? 4th, 11th to the 17th. Why does that not seem right? Is that over Easter? Thursday, because we have Good Friday on the 18th. I see. All right. Netflix. Broken wing butterfly up above, looking good. This trade's profitable. That was done and closed. Long-term levels on Netflix, look left. Previous highs back here in 2021. That's at least a starting point. Could it get worse? I mean, here's a good swing. There's your low. There's your high. If you pull back 50% or 61%, technically speaking, that's a great spot. So Netflix at 500 looks awesome. Meta 400 or less looks awesome. I mean, there will be some fantastic spots here. Question is are we going to see them? As if we do, look, if we're talking Netflix down here to $500, if we're talking Meta at sub 400, Mags isn't done selling off, market's not done selling off. Buckle up. Yep. Good point, Igor, for that question that popped in for why Aussie falling. Yeah, it's risk off, man. China retaliating with tariffs, yes. So trade war, baby. That's what's going on. It's not good. Berkshire finally dropping. I wanted to short that yesterday. Glad I didn't. Well, I wish I did, but whatever. Tesla 239. Son of a bee. Well, it wouldn't matter because my 247 would have been called away anyway. We'll see what that trade looks like. Tesla on some of my covered calls here. Tesla. So I'm already up 71% of that covered call. Crazy. I mean, if we sell off it, I could pull in most of that credit like right away, and then even maybe roll this again for next week, or just take the profit and put on a new one and try to collect more premium since IV's even higher. this is nuts. Here's the daily price action. So we had a 5390 close. What's that low? Close at 50. Where the heck's my close? Well, I'll guesstimate it. 5394 close yesterday. This is the 5100 level that I'm talking about right there. So this is probably the one final level. If there's any market maker holding today, that's around 5100. Otherwise, I mean, hell, we might have a halt today. It's got to be close. These markets are getting crushed. Almost 5% in the 5% in the S&P. Wow. Well, let's check some futures hedges, shall we? Futures hedges up around 45 grand. Thankfully, still have some more hopefully to go. I think I've got a hedge here in SPY. So this hedge is up around $700. Yep. So those are still running. The 525 by 480. I mean, it's what's nuts is we're trading there right now. I mean, we're at 511 right now. I'm in the money on my long put that I put in like weeks ago. We were trading at like 555, 560. Put in this 525 is now trading in the money. Crazy. So, I mean, I'm up 69% on the risk. I'd like to be up, 100, 200% if possible. But it's happening so fast. I might just have to look at, intelligently taking profit around like the 500 to 490 handle, just because that is, I think that's where the market's going to be looking at some bottoms. All right. And yes, we have Powell coming in about 30 minutes. I do have a hard stop today at 11 o'clock, so I'm going to wrap things up here in just a few minutes. Airline stocks, no thanks. Look, this is what makes markets wild and crazy. It's been easy the last couple of years. The market's done nothing but try to go up and grind higher. Everything looks good. These are valuations that are getting absolutely smoked right now. Market cap is getting destroyed, right? Mag 7, who knows how many hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars have been shed from market caps over the last 2 to 3 weeks, not to mention the start of the year when we had the correction. But look, this is how the market is pricing in worst case scenario. This market's pricing in tariff, trade war, valuations, global recession, like all this is happening at once. That's why it seems so crazy and chaotic, right? But Delta Airlines at $35, it's down 50%. You'd think it's like, hey, it might be on sale. Honestly, if the premiums are high enough, I might even take a stab at it. I don't know if the premium is going to be great, but let me check. Would I be willing to own Delta Airlines at literally COVID levels at $20? Let's find out. So if I went out to, I could go out and see like how profitable this would be. Nope. So if I'm going out for like what I like is like a 40 to 60 day window, I'm not getting any premium for that. But if I went out to the end of the year, because it's so uncertain right now, if I go out December and I go to $20 and say, look, I'm going to own Delta at $20, literally COVID levels. Okay. Would we crash through COVID levels at $20, 1918 when the whole world stopped? Probably not. So for an income trade, if I did a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me move these down. So I can make $650. I would be willing to take on the shares. Let me put this in a PM account. Okay, it cost me $700 in buying power to make $650 on what I think is a pretty safe trade. It's like if I own shares of this, it would be I own shares literally at COVID prices. Just a couple dollars off COVID prices. It's not a bad play in my opinion. Now, I'd have to be willing to own the shares. That would be 400 shares with a break even of around 2150. So 20 plus 21 plus 22 plus 23. I do that right? Divided by 4. So I'd own the shares at 2150. I'd have 400 shares. Okay, so that's a cash tie-up. Cut that into thirds, so probably $2,000 or $3,000 in buying power for my portfolio margin accounts. I like the trade. I don't know if I can get filled there. I'm going to try. 650s. I'm probably going to get filled closer to like $6, but let's try. I'll be just under the mid price. 625 just got filled. Cool. I'm going to take this trade real quick. 9372. Place 4. All right, just got filled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts, $6.24. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to add that in. This is Delta Airlines, a December 19th expiration. Sell the 23 put, sell the 22 put, sell the 21 put, sell the 20 put, $6.24 credit, and I'm willing to own. break even on that. So if I did 624, it'd be 86 divided by 4, 2150. And then I've got 624 divided by 4. So my break even would be $19.94. So if I'm assigned on any of these strikes, I do the math, pull in, break even's $20. I'd own it essentially at COVID lows and, flip it. I'm not looking to hold it long term, but if I flipped it for, a couple $1,000, I'd gladly do that. Honestly, this trade probably doesn't do the damage all the way down to $20. It might, but I doubt it. So anyway, selling some premium, picking my battles. All right, I got to go here in just a couple minutes. Any last requests? Gold selling off. There's a pretty hard pivot on the dollar. Gold is going to sell off. I said this is going to be a reversion trade. We're probably going to hit this 200 moving average. If this is the start of a topping pattern, it's okay. Like a topping pattern would be, let's say we come back down in here, we bounce back up for a retracement, and then we sell back off for a swing, find some support, and then gold still has long-term buying opportunities. Silver looking like crap right now, right? Silver's down a ton, copper's down a ton. We have wild stuff happening. Meanwhile, the market right around that 5,100 handle is responding nicely. It's up around 60 points off these lows. Powell coming in the next 15, 20 minutes. So the day is not done. There's still plenty of nonsense ahead. So as James says, don't get margin called. This seems like a pretty fitting time to say that. So, I'm still sitting here with just over $1 million cash to play with. I turned red for the year, which sucks and I hate it. But I do have some good trades running. I'm selling premiums. I know they're going to be good income trades. And overall, I'm still going to ride these hedges out. I'm up 40 grand right now in hedges. Just on futures, I closed out for about $12,600 today on a push with XSP. So I'm just fighting the good fight, trying to take some profits along the way, sell some premium, take my mechanical trades, think my way through it. Don't do things silly. But yeah, we got some China's down pretty hard, right? Baidu was up to 92, now it's down to $80. So this is certainly going to get a little bit messier before it gets better. So all right, everybody, I'll let you go for today. Thanks for tuning in, and let's see what the next couple of days hold. Like I said, over the weekend, this market has shown us vulnerability. So coming into Sunday, Monday, I will be watching the futures market on Sunday. If we have another giant flush lower on futures on Sunday night around 6 p.m. Eastern time, just buckle up for another ugly gap to the downside. At the same time, this market also might use it as an opportunity to buy the dip, because over the weekend, who knows, we have some miraculous negotiating that comes to the table. Maybe there's some Trump backpedaling where he's like, well, we're going to do this instead. There's some amendments or some exemptions, or who knows. But I would say the message right now is it's trade war. It's a big threat. The global economy doesn't know how to price it in, so you can see everything's running for the exit door. And this is what it feels like. It's not the last time, but certainly for 2025, it's memorable. And watching the VIX, all I can do is kind of be strategic on, I'm willing to sell some premium, but I know this isn't the bottom. Like if this gets worse and worse, like we could have one more nasty spike into the 50s and 60s. This could go down as like the highest spike in the VIX ever. Well, I'd like to be selling some premium and seeing this thing revert, so I'm just not ready to dump all my capital and say, this is it. It's not, technically speaking, I could still see the market going lower. Right, we're in free fall mode. We've fallen about 15% in the S&P from the highs. We are down 16.57%. It's still technically a correction. Doesn't feel like it, but it's a correction. So my question is, are we in open space to offer up one little pullback, which this could be like a 2022 move or a 2020 move or a 2001 move, which is we have this huge dump and the market still jumps up like, maybe 5, 6, 7%, and then flushes back down. So I don't think the lows are in, but we'll keep an eye on it. This did actually hit. This is, honestly, textbook wise, this is pretty crazy. It hit a fib level today, 51.17, almost to the point. So if we have a high, low, lower, high, lower, low, you take this new fib, look to see if the market's going to pull back into this gap. And then there's maybe one more flush lower coming, but we are not done yet. So, all right, everybody, I got to let you go. Thanks. Bye. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for watching today's A1 Trading Show. Be sure to subscribe and to turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. All month long, you can get the Edge Finder 40% off, our best discount of the year. Check out the links in the description below to visit the Edge Finder homepage or speak with a team member directly to get the 40% off discount now. Trade safely, and we'll see you tomorrow.